Things. Now, the main idea of Needful Things, well, today we're reviewing Needful Things, and the main idea of Needful Things is about a man named Leland Gaunt who opens a store called Needful Things, hence the title, in Castle Rock, the fictional town that Stephen King created. And really, it has your heart's most desires that shop does, but for you to get it, you have to play a little prank on someone, but the prank ends up turning one person against another when they start fighting. So I'll give it 5 stars. Needful Things. It's talking about a whole town here, the town of Castle Rock. So there's a lot of main characters. We got Sheriff Alan Pangborn coming back from the dark half. We got Polly Chalmers, Leland Gaunt, the shop owner, Danforth Keaton, and my favorite is Nettie Cobb. Those are just some off the mind. And they're all unique somehow, I think, and I think their backgrounds were explained very well for a book containing a whole town and not super long. So I think it did a good job at making showing how the characters and making them not cardboard cutouts.
And part of Needful Things characters is they have some of them they don't have to they don't have to talk about because they were mentioned in their first books, such as Ace Merle is in this book.
Yeah, Ace Merle is in the body. So I think they're all unique. Ace Merle mentions his past. Nettie's past, Sheriff Alan Pangborn's past, Polly's past, names a lot of people's pasts. Danforth Keaton's past, so Hugh Priest's past. So it does a good job at building up to the characters, I think. So I give 5 stars. Okay, so next up we got writing and the Stephen King. So it's gonna automatically be 5 stars, but I'll tell you why it's 5 stars. I like the writing because it switches off through a lot of point of views. Whenever I'm reading Stephen King, sometimes I try to find mistakes in the writing. I can't find any. I'm not like hunting through the whole book for them, but just do I see one? I didn't see any. I liked the way it was written, how it jumped from people's point of views, and just whenever something good was about to happen, it jumped to a different person's point of view, or like 3 good things were happening at once. So I really liked how there was so much suspense in this book and how it's... Okay, so next up we got humor. This book had a lot of one-liners, and one time Frank Jewett was talking to one of his work buddies in the school, and he was telling him a joke, and it was really, really, really funny. I cracked up. And there's a lot of one-liners, and there's some creepy stuff that are in there that are sometimes funny that Leland Gaunt does. And Ace Merle is, I think, Ace and Danforth Keaton and Nettie Cobb are probably some of the 3 most funniest people in the book. I think it was a good. Next, we got Journey, and Journey is how fast I read this. Well, not really how fast I read this book, but how much I enjoyed reading the book. I read this book in estimate 3 weeks, and I thought I read it really fast. I felt like I blew right through it. To me, when I started it, I didn't think I was gonna finish. I thought it was gonna take me forever to finish it, but it kept me reading, if you will. So, and I had fun reading it. There wasn't a lot of boring parts. I'd say the most person who had boring parts was probably Sheriff Pangborn at the beginning, but there wasn't a lot of boring parts, so, and I had fun reading it, as I said. Now the ending of Needful Things, if you haven't read it, you can exit out. I'll give you a few seconds to do that. Okay, if you're still watching, the ending is Sheriff Pangborn is met up with Leland Gaunt for the first time in the book, right at the very end, and I think the first time he sees him, and him and Ace are together. Leland Gaunt and Ace are together, and Leland Gaunt he's carrying this box of souls or of some sort, and Sheriff Pangborn has this can of a fake snake from his son whenever his son was alive, and he pops it out, and the snake comes out, and it turns into a real snake and bites Leland Gaunt, and Leland Gaunt throws it on the ground and then turns into a fake snake again. So, and then while he's throwing it on the ground and trying to... What?
May I ask a question?
Yeah?
So, did the ending ruin this book for you?
I wouldn't say it ruined it. I'd say it was... here's a few words to describe it. Unguessable? Strange. I don't mean strange
in a bad way.
In a bad way, I mean strange just as in a little creepy. And we'll throw another unguessable in there because I don't think you could ever see that ending happening.
Oh yeah, especially if you watch the movie.
And so, whenever Leland Gaunt is taking the snake off, Alan takes the briefcase full of souls or whatever, and Leland Gaunt turns around. He sees that his case isn't there, so he jumps and tries to get it, but Paul steps on his hand, and so then he backs up, and Sheriff Pangborn has this bouquet of flowers, this fake one, that is almost done. The last person he did it to was Sean, I think, where it almost broke. And he pulled it out, but there was actually a light in his hand of some sort. And it sucked all the stuff that he did in, like it sucked Norris Ridgwick's this poison out of his body and Polly's poison, Norris's blood and Polly's poison out of their body. And Leland Gaunt was driving away in his car, and since it was taking all the magic out and how everyone sees the stuff, it turned into a wagon, because that's what it really was. I guess that's what it really was, but everyone saw it different. So that's the ending, and he drives away. Overall, I think this was a good book. I'd recommend it for reading Stephen King. Out of all our reviews, we haven't made a single bad review yet. Yeah, I'd recommend it. Overall, I thought the book was great. Great plot, great characters, great writing, great humor, great journey, and good ending. So overall, I give it 5 stars, which gives us a total of 34 out of 35.